Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for another video. I'm back with Leon Meier. Leon, what's going on there? You're
Got the hands ready. Got the Hulk hands to beat
you
up
got
the
the hands
opposition.
ready. Okay,
Gonna
there we go.
gonna squeeze them. That the hands are squeezed. Gonna use the powerful Hulk hands to squeeze the opposition.
Getting some. I see what you're doing there. Now, before we load up this hand, I heard you were in Thailand recently.
Yeah, I was in Thailand recently. I was playing the Asia Pacific Bridge Federation Open teams, and I was at part of a unofficial self-funded New Zealand team, and we ended up winning the whole event. It was
And your the prize was the Hulk hands. I'm guessing
the,
you get
the,
those
the prize
souvenirs.
was not the Hulk hands.
Oh,
I think I've got the medal around here somewhere.
oh, let's see.
Here it is. Here's the
Oh my
medal that,
gosh.
that we won.
If I had won that, Leon, I think I would be wearing it every day. I'd be walking
Yeah,
around town with that on.
yeah.
There we go. At least leave it on for the rest of the video.
And we also got a trophy, but I had to leave before the prize giving because that's when my flight was. So
Uh,
Ashley has the trophy, and he's off in Germany somewhere meandering around.
okay. Yeah. Well, so if anyone in Germany spots a guy walking around with with a big trophy but no Hulk hands, uh, tell him we say hi.
Yeah,
All right. Well, let's load up this hand, Leon, and you can set us up for it.
sure.
Let us know what we should be thinking about. Let me load it up
Yeah.
right now.
This was a hand from the APBF Congress.
Cool. So a real
So
life hand, not one of those constructed to prove a lesson, but something that actually came up.
yeah, I like using hands that actually came up. Maybe you can say it's because I'm not creative enough and I can't think of hands myself, but I like to think it's because I'm practical and I I don't do things that aren't going to happen.
All right, so Leon, here we go. We already have our auction, our contract.
Yeah, we'll
Works
start
our way
off
to.
with the bidding. So we have a few inferences from the bidding. It started off with me as South opening one heart. I have only 11 points. I know I don't have 12, but this isn't the 1930s. I'm allowed to open with 11 points. And so I did. I opened one heart. West made a takeout double, showing an opening hand with at least 3 cards in the other suits, normally 4 spades. And my partner North bid 2 diamonds. And 2 diamonds might look odd here, but 2 diamonds shows like a 8 to 11 points with a 3 card heart suit, 3 card heart raise.
Hmm.
And East passed, and when they pass, I'm immediately thinking, okay, they probably don't have 4 spades, right? So I bid 2 hearts, and my partner raised to 3 hearts. So he's
That two hearts, are you essentially completing
two
partners
hearts
diamonds?
is 2 hearts is I don't want to go to game opposite 8 to 11.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
but
not even just completing. You already got the information from partner. You're
yeah,
giving more information, saying,
yeah,
"I can't do it alone, partner. I need you to be on the stronger side."
yeah. And partner bids 3 hearts, which at this point has to be like quite a chunky 11, a good 11 points. But
Okay.
like not an absolute rock crushing 11 because he could have bid 1 heart double 2 spades with that. We have a convention where that shows like a super 11 or even 12 points, a very strong invite. And so anyway, he bids 3 hearts, showing a quite a nice chunky 11. And I'd make what you might think is an unusual bid with my 11 points. I bid 4 hearts. But if you
I'm looking at both. Should we feel nervous? Our combined strength is. Um,
So I'm willingly, knowingly bidding a 22-point game, but my singleton spade feels like it's going to be useful, and also that the key reason why I bid 4 hearts was because West had made a double.
yeah.
So I'm going to have a lot of information with which to play the hand accordingly.
because West is the one who doubled, and then East didn't do anything.
Yeah,
East knew about West
East didn't do anything. West doubled and East passed, so that's already a lot to help with my play. So
playing.
I and also that the person who doubled is on lead, and often they're going to have a tricky lead problem. They're not going.
Hey,
They're going to have
can
honors
I
and all
jump
sorts.
in with a quick question? If it's West, for example, who doubles, I feel a lot more nervous because West is sitting after me than
Well,
if East doubles.
so the thing, like West is sitting after you, right? But which cards are they sitting after you with? Because your partner's also sitting after them. So in the club suit, for example, I'm
Mm,
happy they're sitting over me. In the diamond suit, maybe my partner has the queen, like this, or diamonds, or maybe the king jack or something that I can
mm,
pick up. And in hearts, well, they're not really sitting over me. And in spades, my partner's sitting over them. So actually, they're not sitting over us. My partner is sitting over them. Just because we
mm.
can't see partner's hand doesn't mean that partner doesn't have some good cards.
Right.
And them being on lead when they probably have honors in all the suits means they're going to want to um, really be uh, careful with their lead, and they're often going to choose the wrong lead with scattered honors, which they're going to usually have for the double. So anyway, they lead a trump, which again suggests they have scattered honors everywhere, not a nice lead.
Mm,
And the trump is actually a pretty killer lead. So playing against good international competition, they're
yeah.
not going to make it easy on you.
Don't imagine.
If we count our losers here, which remember, always in a trump contract, count your losers. We
And
have
real fast, Leon, maybe we can even open it up for the viewers, especially the learners out there. Push yourself here. Um, how many losers do you count? And what other questions should we have in mind? Right at the beginning, just the lead came
yeah,
down. Take us
yeah.
back just to the process. We can always.
So what are our losers, and how can we reduce them? Are there
Okay.
finesses we can take? Are there things that we can discard our losers on? Can we rough cards in the shorthand, rough our losers in the shorthand? What kind of plays might we do to reduce them?
Okay.
Right?
So,
Giving
folks
you a
watching along, leave a comment.
yeah.
Count the losers. What do we have? And what do you think is our best shot at reducing them?
Yeah. So if we count our losers, we've got one in spades, counting from the long trump end, of course. We've got one
Okay.
loser in spades. We've got potentially three losers in diamonds and two potential losers in clubs, right? So we need to reduce
Hmm.
three of those losers. If you're good at counting, you'll know that that's six, and we need to lose three tricks. So it's looking kind of grim, right?
Mm,
But not as grim as you might think. So we can reduce the diamond losers by playing low to the queen. West likely has the king, so probably they'll play the king, and then the queen will win, and then we'll only have two diamond losers. We would like to rough a diamond in the north hand as well.
mm,
However, there's a problem. So if we win the trump in our hand and play a low diamond to the queen, they win with the king of diamonds. They
mm.
play another trump.
Yeah.
The hell do we do now? If we win the trump in our hand, roughing a diamond's pointless because we'd be roughing with the king of hearts, and that just makes one of their trumps good.
Right.
If we win the king of hearts in partner's hand and play the queen of diamonds, how in the world do we get back to our hand to
Mm,
actually rough the diamond?
right.
The answer is we don't. So this trump lead actually
Mm.
prevents us from doing what we want to do, which would be roughing a diamond. And roughing a diamond would actually make the hand a breeze, right?
It's something. It's a reminder. I know I can use. I find it helpful to remember sometimes leading a Trump suit on defense can really throw some sand in their gears. It's
Yeah,
like instinctively, I don't want to do that. Of course, it's like it feels
yeah.
like the last thing I want to do.
If
But
if you think that the opponents are going to be roughing cards in each hand, then by all means lead a trump. It's going to often be very good. And a situation where you might want to do that is if each of them bid a suit before bid a different suit before finding their trump fit,
Right.
which is a situation where they're probably short in each other's suit, and therefore they're going to try and rough some cards in each hand.
So that's one clue. That wasn't the case here. Maybe
That wasn't the case here. So
once
what
we see West's hand, maybe you can step us through.
Yeah. So what the
how
trump
West
lead
came up with it.
what the trump lead here likely is they have honors in all their other suits they don't want to lead away from. So there's partially, right, is the trump is likely to it is possible to prevent us roughing. But also, they probably have the Jack 10 of hearts and think that that's the least likely suit to give away a trick in by leading. So, another inference, right? They made a takeout. If we count our points, we have 11 and 11 is 22. There's 18 missing. So, West has like 12 and East is 6. West could have a little more. East could have a little less, therefore. And probably West has 4 spades and East has 3. If East had 4 spades, they would have bid 2 spades most of the time over 2 diamonds. So it's pretty likely that West has the 4th spade and East has only 3. If West had 5 spades, they would have overcalled instead of doubling.
Cool. Yep.
So here, I win the ace. And now I'm just going to show the cards for you. So we've made the inference that West has 4 spades. They probably don't have 3 hearts, right? And people don't often double with 3 cards in my suit. So they're probably 4 spades, 2 hearts, and 3-4 in the minors, or 4-3, either way, right? On this hand, they happen to be 4-3.
And you also see why they wouldn't want to lead any of the other suits.
Yeah, I can see. Like, they don't want to give away the Queen of Clubs position. They don't want to lead away from their broken honors and diamonds and spades. So the heart lead was a very good lead here. That was the lead I would have made. And another small inference is when my partner bids 2 diamonds and then pushes on again over 2 hearts, they're showing a pretty good 11-point hand. That's often going to involve some kind of shortage. Like a doubleton, for example, which it does. So, anyway, I start with a spade because I know that the plan of roughing diamonds isn't going to work. But maybe if I can play a spade, West will duck it and I can win the king early on before they know what's going on the hand. But West wasn't born yesterday. They play the ace.
Okay.
And East plays the 8 of spades, playing natural count. So
count. So what is that telling partner?
Playing natural count means if you play a low one, then a high one, then you have an odd number of cards in the suit.
Now, just for folks, perhaps just still getting comfortable playing out with against strangers or in unfamiliar places. What can you do if you're unsure what each card there means?
So in this tournament and most serious tournaments, the opponents will have a system card in front of them which says all of their carding agreements, like whether they play low like high hate or the other way around, whether they play low high as even, high low as odd, or the other way around, right?
Okay.
And this pair were playing that low high was odd.
What if you're playing just in a local club?
If you're playing in a local club, you probably don't have a system card, so you just ask the opposition, hey, what are your signals here? You can say, what are your discards, or what are your signals when following suit? Okay. Some people don't have an answer because they don't play anything. That's okay. If they don't mean anything, they don't have to tell you what they have. They don't have to show you their cards. Be like, look, here's my hand.
Right. Well, maybe the flip side of that question: if someone asks you and you don't have, you're not conveying something, How can you respond there?
You just say undiscussed, or they don't mean anything. We
Okay.
throw whatever we feel like, or we play. So yeah, East's 8 at this point is still ambiguous to me whether it's high or low. So I don't know whether they have 3 or 4, except from the inference from the bidding where they probably would have bid 2 spades with 4 of them. Not always. West could have a little bit stronger hand, but it's a small influence. So once again, I play a trump.
You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. And I win again in my hand. I'm preserving that King of Hearts entry to my partner's hand because I can see there's a possibility I can set up the spades eventually. But now, while I'm in my hand, I know I want to play a diamond to the queen eventually, so I'll play the diamond to the queen now. West pops in with the king. I play low. And the key
thing you still have that entry to
yeah, I still have the King of Hearts and the Queen of Diamonds entry.
And now the Queen of Diamonds, right?
Yeah. So East played a low diamond here. Now this one I can tell is low. So that looks like they have an odd number of diamonds. Maybe they just forgot and are playing from the bottom up, or maybe they're trying to trick me and have 4. Right? Obviously, when you can see all 4 hands, you know they're not trying to trick you. But I couldn't at the time. So I still thought in the back of my mind, maybe they're trying to trick me.
Oh, the mind games that happen at the highest levels are so different from the mind games that happen internally at the lowest levels.
So here they played another diamond because they can see that's safe, right? The queen's always going to be there. They don't want to solve the spades or the club position for me, so they play another diamond. East squanders the bear card, you know. And I went with the queen.
I'll have to do another video sometime about the beer card, Leon.
On Pete Holland's YouTube, he has plenty of videos with the beer card if you want to know more about that.
Cool, awesome.
So here, you might say, well, the King of Spades, I played a low spade to set that up. Let's play it now. But I don't know what I want to discard, right? I don't know if I want to throw a diamond or if I want to throw a club yet. So playing that would be a mistake because I would have to commit to a line early, which would then mean that the opponents would know better what to do.
Slow it down for us a little bit there. Help me make sure I understand those 2 options and why you know you're not ready.
If I play the King of Spades and throw a diamond, now the opponents can freely get rid of and play diamonds, right? There's no more threat of me getting that 10 of diamonds, which remember, there's only the jack out higher than the 10.
Right.
And so I can't play King of Spades and pitch a diamond. But if I play King of Spades and pitch a club, now my potential in clubs is limited, right? I'm not going to... If I play the jack and they play the ace, then they can just play the queen on top of my 10 next time, and there's no hopes there.
So what else is there?
What else is there? Well, just rough a spade. Leave those spades there as a threat to set up, right? Now there's only 1 spade away from setting them up. If West discards a spade, and then all of my spades and dummy are good.
Yeah.
And if I get to rough 1 more spade, then all of my spades and dummy were good. So if
again, we don't know if where the queen is, where the jack is. We don't know how they're breaking between West and East's hand.
Yeah. We kind of know they're 4-3, right?
Okay. And we can generally... we shouldn't assume that they're split, but more often than not, they're split?
Well, it doesn't really matter if they're split, because they're 4-3. I know they're 4-3 based on the inferences discussed earlier. Doesn't matter where the queen and jack are, because if I just rough 1 more, then play the King of Spades, then the 10's good.
Okay.
So at this point here, I played the Jack of Clubs. Now, if West covers this one, now I will just show you what happens if they cover. Now I play the king, and East wins the ace. And now they have somewhat of a problem. If they play a club back, then I can play them for the 9 and play low, or I can take another line. If they play a diamond back, then I would win the ace, and I'd be able to cross over and finesse the 9 of clubs, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this, if they cover,
So that's
it
if
allows,
they cover the jack with the queen.
yeah,
We
if they cover the
see.
jack with the queen, then the 9 of clubs becomes a finessible card.
Mm,
Right, so I can basically just cross over to the king of hearts, play king of spades, ditch a diamond, and play a club up, and finesse the 9, which relies on East having the 9, but it's not a great contract, so I'm going to need some help. But they did not cover the queen, because when I play the jack, they know I pretty much always have the jack and the 10,
mm.
and they've learned to cover the second one, not the first one, which is generally very good advice. Now they play low, I play low from dummy, and now East has another problem. If
And sorry, just to follow up on that quick point, why does West guess that we would have the jack and the 10?
Well, I would have to be pretty creative to randomly come out the jack of clubs from hand without the 10, right? With just the jack empty. That
What
that
would
would
be the
be
point?
yeah, that would be a very ambitious play. You're taught not to lead honors from not to just randomly lead honors from your hand when you don't have the ones underneath them.
If it's not setting up something, if it's not going
Yeah.
to help us eventually, why would we do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe I could have tricked them and done this without the 10. But if I don't have the 10, it just looks pretty grim as well. So I play the jack, and East here, they kind of know what's going on. Um, I could have Queen Jack, I could have Jack 10. I probably don't have Queen Jack 10, because then I'd have no problem on the hand. But I probably don't have Queen Jack either, because again, no problem. But East knows if they take the ace now, that gives me another entry to dummy. So if they take the ace now, I can use the king to get to dummy.
Right.
I can ruff a spade. I can play the king of hearts back to dummy, and now all the spades are good. So
Mm.
if they allow me to get to dummy again, then that's the contract making. So they know not to let me get there, so they duck. And this little jack of clubs wins the trick. And now I'm thinking, you buggers, you just
I tried
you
to
just
pass it over to your court, your
yeah.
side of the court.
I was trying to generate something here with the jack of clubs, and you just let it win. That's the most annoying play that they could have done. However, like from my hand reading and looking at their count signals, it looks like West is probably 4 spades, 2 hearts, 4 diamonds, and 3 clubs, right? And if they have that shape, I can actually do a strip squeeze here. So I'll turn on the double dummy.
Is the squeeze. Yeah, get those whole cans ready. Everyone
Get,
watching at home.
get the Hulk hands ready to squeeze them.
I have the sound effect for it. The squeeze. That's our high budget sound effects.
So let's just take a look at what happens when I play a heart, and I'll turn on the double dummy just to prove it.
Mm.
If they discard a spade, all my spades will be good, right? And trumps are drawn. I can laugh all the way to the bank. So they're not going to do that. If they discard a diamond, I can play the ace of diamonds and the 10 of diamonds, and then that'll be good, right? The ace of diamonds beat the jack, and then the 10 will be good if they discard a diamond. So let's have a look at what happens if they discard a club. They discard a club, and I win. Now, what I have to do is cash the king of spades, because this is going to be potentially my last time over there. Right?
Mm.
Cash the king of spades, and I have to discard a diamond, because they've already said, okay, I'm going to guard diamonds. I'm going to discard my club, so the diamond 10 is no longer any use to me. It served its purpose as a threat. And they're going to follow. Now, what I have to do is I have to squash their queen of clubs, which I know they have. Right? If East had the queen of clubs, they would have beat my jack. So I
Right.
have to squash their queen of clubs with the king. And now, if
And
East
again, we
plays the
already
ace,
have the shape. We have West shape in mind.
yeah,
We don't.
we have West shape in mind, where we think based on East playing low high and diamonds that East has the 3-card diamond suit and West has 4. So it looks like West has only 1 club left.
Leon, how you do this in real time when the pressure's on, I'm amazed.
So I play a king of clubs here. If East wins the ace, my 10's good. If East ducks, I'd win the king, and that's my 10th trick for making the contract.
Mm.
So a little bit of inference, a little bit of squeezing West.
Take us through to the end. Just give us the satisfaction of seeing.
Okay. The satisfaction of seeing the queen squashed.
Yeah.
And now they play back a
Under
diamond,
their own ace.
play the 8 of hearts, and my 10 of clubs to finish off.
Mm.
10 tricks taken. Now, all of what I played through the hand was what happened at the table, except at the very end there, instead of at this point, instead of discarding a club, they discarded a diamond. So when they discarded diamond instead, I played the king of spades and discarded a club, because now I'm pretty sure my diamonds are coming in.
Whichever they had discarded, that's where you see the opportunity.
Yeah. So now I play the ace of diamonds, and the jack was actually an east the whole time. So this layout of the hand was not the layout of the hand at the table. East had the jack, 3rd of diamonds, the entire time. So I was always cold based on my ace of diamonds just going and beating their jack, right?
Just in case. Turned out the jack was in East.
I set up the hands here to illustrate what happens if East didn't have the jack of diamonds. But they did, unfortunately, have the jack of diamonds. So it was kind of a moot point. However, it was still
The
a hand where
there.
at the other table, they were in 3 making 3, and I was in 4 making 4. We were vulnerable. We won some imps. Hooray.
Hooray.
Go me. I'm the best.
That's why you're wearing the medal. Leon, all week, Leon. That's fantastic. Gosh, well, yeah. Once again, I can't believe that you can process all that in real time while you're playing. Slowing things down for us, helping us understand what's happening. Each step of the way makes sense. But putting all those pieces together, keeping track of all the information that we already found, I feel inspired, challenged, and intimidated. Very impressive and very cool.
Yeah, I hope this was instructive, enjoyable for everyone watching. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, maybe you just enjoyed watching a fun hand. But I hope that whatever your level, you're able to learn something. And unless you're the best player in the world, in which case, why aren't you here teaching me?
If the best player in the world is hearing this, you have a potential student. Meanwhile, and if anyone sees someone walking around Germany holding a big old trophy, you'll also have to get in touch. Leon, thank you so much. Folks watching at home, thank you guys for joining us for this video. And Leon, can we include the hand viewer link for this hand as well, if players might want to play through?
Yeah, sure. I'll
All
just
right, I'll put that in the video description below.
cool.
Thank you, Leon.
Cheers. See ya.